This is VSiN PrimeTime. Live from the Circus Sportsbook in downtown Las Vegas on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Hour number 3 of VSiN PrimeTime. That's Will Hill. I'm Tim Murray. Ginger Power on this Wednesday evening. I'm live here at the Circus Sportsbook in downtown Las Vegas as we are keeping eyes on a very entertaining game on the ice, the Sunshine Showdown. I don't know if they're calling that, but I'm calling it that. Tampa and Florida, Will, all tied up at 3. But before we get to the ice, back to the hardwood, you and I put in a couple halftime wagers, and the Houston Rockets right now an 83-52 lead. I took Rockets plus 4.5 in-game, in the second half, excuse me. I wish it was 4.5 for the in-game. That would be lovely. So full game, I think the price comes out to minus 22.5 is the number I'm looking at. And then you took some Steph Curry props under as well. And Steph Curry, I was waiting. He just had a half-court shot in desperation. I was sort of waiting for that to go in, be like, of course. But not the case. And, you know, you do wonder right now as we're watching this, is a 27-point game, little run here for the Warriors. Are they going to completely just lay down, or are you going to see a little bit of fight? You and I suspected we might see a little bit of fight here, especially in the third quarter from this Warriors squad.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be curious what that halftime locker room speech was like. I imagine Kerr just wants to get maybe them some good minutes, some good feeling heading into, you know, the game 6. He's got to know that them winning this game. I know they've got Curry and anything can happen. It's the NBA. We always say that, but 30 plus is just basically insurmountable. So how long does he go here? And, you know, at what point does he pull the plug? Because I think we're getting pretty close. If you get a couple more minutes here and it's 30, 35, whatever the case, you got to figure, all right, rests, prevent injury. Let's just get, I mean, the last thing you'd ever want is Curry or Butler to, you know, get injured, re-injured in a game that's completely over with. So I think it's just a matter of time, but it is a matter of time because some of these numbers are, you know, you don't want Curry in here too much, I guess, put it that way.
Yeah, right now, the number you got, no mushing, but the number you got, I'm just going to read what the market's at. It's down to 17.5, and you're under 22.5 Steph Curry in-game. You got that at halftime. 85-58 currently the score between the Rockets and the Warriors. I'm on the in-game. Unfortunately for me, no in-game player prop opportunity for me. Let me ask you this, a little philosophical question. So we were waiting for our guest, Brittany, or we appreciate her coming on. Unfortunately for her sake, it sounds like she's going to need those rain boots down there in Louisville on Friday and Saturday for the coverage on NBC. But while we were waiting for Brittany to come on, I pulled out the app and I was ready to place my in-game bet on the Houston Rockets. And as I was talking to Brittany, we were talking to producer Justin, I hit the wrong button and I bet the Warriors. So I'm curious what you would do there because I made a decision after making the mistake, and I'll tell you what I did. But do you say that's karma and I stick with that bet, or do you just double up on the other side and essentially write off the other bet?
I would do the latter. I would double up on the other side, maybe even pay a little juice to play an alternate number and say, you know what, if I can, let's just say I took 24.5 instead of lay 24.5. Well, I'll look to lay like 23.5. Say, you know, maybe there's some karma or it's meant to be there where I can hit a middle, but I'm not going to turn a potential loss into a win. Like if I like the Rockets, and I bet the Rockets and it loses, I can live with it. I just can't live with betting the wrong side and costing myself money that way. So I would get off.
Yeah.
It's happened, though. Look, we place these bets every day, 365 days a year. Let's just say you play 5 bets a day. That's thousands of bets. Once in a while, you're going to bet the wrong market or the wrong team or the wrong whatever. It is important. It sounds so elementary, but just to double check your bets before you enter it, double check it after the slip goes in. Again, it sounds like, oh, you know, we're not children. We don't need to know this. I've done it. I'm sure we've all done it where you look and say, well, how come my account hasn't refreshed? Where's all the money? Well, you bet the wrong side. Or sometimes you get that special, you know, it doesn't seem to ever work out in your favor, but you bet the wrong side and it goes in your favor. But it happens. It happens to all of us.
Yeah, that was I did, by the way, I did double up on the other side. I did not sit there. It was funny. We were talking to Brittany, and as soon as we welcomed Brittany on, I'm like, oh, my God, I made the wrong bet. She's like, you know, in horse racing, sometimes the thought is when you make a mistake, you just roll with it. I couldn't live with myself if if Houston ends up covering the second half. I'll be happy with a loss here if the Rockets. I won't be happy, but I'll live with it. So I did double up on the other side there, but 91-64. The Warriors not rolling over dead just yet. 93-64 is the score. So they're fighting. You just got a bucket from Steph Curry, which makes the sweat for you a little bit more. How about this? Just a moment ago, the in-game number on Steph got to 15.5. So you could have tried to middle your in-game player prop. But I'll say this right now, from what I'm watching, doesn't look like the defensive effort is really there for the Golden State Warriors here in this third quarter. 93-64. Yeah.
We got a timeout, so that could be it. He could give him until the end of the third quarter. He could just say, you know what, I'm not an idiot. We're down 30. It's the middle of the third quarter. Whoever come off the bench here, Monte Ellis, Andrew Bogut, whatever former Warriors, it's your turn.
Iguodala. Let's get Iguodala out of retirement. Come on.
Yes, absolutely. Livingston, whoever. Let me ask you, do you think they pull him? Because the books, to your point, the live number is 15.5. He had 11 points, or he's up to 13. So I don't know when that number was 15.5. So the books are anticipating a pull very soon. Do you think they pull him now, or you think they give him a little bit?
I kind of think they pull him now. I don't know. That's just my gut. That would be nice for you, man. That would be a nice no-sweat situation. I'm going to sweat it out because you know that, former lacrosse superstar Pat Spencer is going to be out there chucking from every which possible way to try to get his buckets. So 29-point lead right now for the Rockets. The in-game sweats for me and Will, I've got Rockets plus 4.5 in the second game, which equals Rockets minus 22.5. And, Will, you are on under 22.5 points for Steph Curry?
Under 22.5. And I played some Butler under 5.5 rebounds. I did a couple things, but Butler at under 22.5 was the one I did at halftime here.
All right, couple updates from the ice. After two periods, the Washington Capitals have a 3-0 lead. So the Caps adding to that lead. Tom Wilson, the handsome one, and the man with the gif, right, of the fake crying from, what was that, Game 3, I think, up in Montreal. Power play goal for Tom Wilson, and the Capitals up 3-0 and looking like they will advance on to the second round of the Stanley Cup Playoffs. They are up 3-1. Right now, if you want to take the Canadian, looking at this, there's thought process here of this, right? The Canadians down 3-0, desperate, plus 3.5 on the puck line is minus 110. The reason, Will, I would stay away from that, because at what point do the Canadiens on the brink of elimination pull the goalie, and you might get two empty netters or something like that for the Capitals here?
Yeah, I could certainly see it. In-game hockey is not my strength, but that line of thinking certainly makes some sense.
By the way, minus 15,000 on the money line if you're interested in the Capitals, which was right around the same price as Cam Ward to get drafted first overall on draft night. So
parlay with the Rockets, and do a little record, pad your record a little bit. Parlay the Capitals and the Rockets on the money line.
Come on, DraftKings, give me a money line here on the Rockets game.
Sometimes you just need to see one go through the hoop. You just need a winner, get you back on track.
Well, let's just hold on. Let me put $150 at DraftKings would win you $1. So there you go. Hey,
winner's a winner, man. A winner's a winner.
Capitals up 3-0. The Florida Panthers here, I believe, are about to score a shorty as they just killed off a power play. And here we go. Oh, the old out of the penalty box goal. Man, 4-3 over Cashes, and the Florida Panthers, they kill off the power play, and they come out of the penalty blocks and bang, 4-3 Panthers with the lead.
Okay, but we have some news in the NBA. We have a development. The scrubs have entered the building. Kevin Knox in for Draymond Green, Quentin Post in for Butler, Moses Moody in for Curry, Guy Santos in for Buddy Hield. Let's go.
Looking at right now at DraftKings, the only player you can bet on the Golden State Warriors is Moses Moody for points. So I'm not saying you're in the clear, but you're feeling decent as lacrosse superstar Pat Spencer is out there right now wearing his 61 jersey. And yes, I would imagine the night for Butler, Podziemski, and Curry seems likely to be done. Down 29.
That would be greatly appreciated.
And I am just kicking myself because I would have much rather placed your bet, but unfortunately here in Vegas, we did not have that opportunity. I just want no mercy from the Rockets. Keep your starters in. Throw foot on the throat, okay? Look, you've seen teams let up. Don't let up. Udoka, make it a 40-point win. Make a statement here.
This is one, too. You have DraftKings. I'm not sure if FanDuel did it, but the East Coast books, you can parlay these superstars under, and you start to see the writing on the wall. This was an opportunity. So hopefully the score holds and these guys don't come back. I couldn't imagine they would, barring some run from the backups, but we'll see.
95-64 the score right now. Live line 27.5, and it looks like, as of right now, the night for Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler could be done. I mean, look, I'll say this, and it's not just because of your bet, which I obviously want to come home. If you're Steve Kerr, there is zero reason right now with two aging stars, and both of them have dealt with injuries, and Jimmy Butler missed a game in the series already with an injury. Why are you even thinking about putting them back in this game, right? You're
not, barring a 15-2 run by your backups. Then maybe even that would put it to 20. You just no. This is they got to be done for the night, I would think.
We still got a game to tip off in the NBA, of course. The Lakers trying to stave off elimination here this evening. Also on the ice, St. Louis and Winnipeg. Jonathan Davis, our betting analyst, will help us break it down next.
This is VSiN PrimeTime on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Keep it rolling here on a Wednesday evening. Under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. The Rockets a 98-70 lead. And Will Hill right now sweating out some in-game unders on Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry. An astute angle that he looked at, and as of right now, knock on wood, seems unlikely that Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry will return to action here. Live number 26.5 with a 98-70 lead. I'm over here sweating out this point spread in game, and you've got potentially a sit back and rocking chair winner here as long as Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry don't re-enter this game.
If there's any way to glue these guys to the bench, I'll take whatever charges come with it and just go about my business and be happy.
All right, we do have a goal. We were talking about the live line with the Canadiens and the Capitals and looking at plus 3.5 for the Canadiens, and it was plus money. They get a goal. It's now 3-1 in the nation's capital. Caps with that 3-1 lead. The Panthers up 4-3. That one late in the second period. And to help us break down the game still to come tonight, the St. Louis Blues and the Winnipeg Jets, as well as a 4-pack tomorrow, is our hockey betting analyst, Jonathan Davis, who joins us right now courtesy of our progressive guest line at West Coast Hockey, is where you can find him on social media. So real quickly, just a quick thought, JD, on the two games going on right now, because I want to get your thoughts on Blues and Jets. From what we've seen in these two games, anything to glean as the Caps and Panthers both trying to move on to the next round?
Well, Tim, I think we're going to see handshakes in the U.S. nation's capital tonight. I mean, Montreal, they got on the board. I don't think there's enough there. They never quit, but I think Washington is just too much for them to handle right now. And in Florida, a back and forth game between the two. The only thing I would look at, if you can, is I would try to target now the third period over. If you can get that over 2 goals, I think it's worth a shot because, in these clinching games, if Tampa is down especially, they're going to pull the goalie. You guys talked about it off the top of the show tonight. You get some garbage time goals that can just, be good for you if you've got it over and just brutal if you've got an under. And by the way, Will, if Jim Hiller, the Kings coach, was involved in the Jimmy Butler game, there's a good chance he would not play the way he has managed the LA Kings bench. So too bad he's not coaching out in the NBA tonight.
It's a good point. I want to get your thoughts. This game starts about 20 minutes or so. Winnipeg, a minus 175 favorite against the Blues. Total's 5.5. The under is juiced right around minus 140 or so. Side total, anything interest you here?
Yeah, a lot of different things. Well, look, one, I would target the Blues team total over 2.5. I like that the best because Connor Hellebuck's been just very leaky. The Connor Hellebuck you see in the regular season and the Connor Hellebuck that we've been used to in the playoffs is what we're getting right now. So, the Blues have scored at least 3 goals in 3 of the 4 games. I don't see why they can't get to that number again tonight. That would be one of my favorite plays. I would even target small, the Blues on the reverse puck line at minus 1.5. I think 11 of the 15 games that the Dog has won in the playoffs this year, they've covered the reverse puck line. That could be another way to approach that one. The first period over has also been golden. That's 4-0 in this series.
Jonathan Davis joining us here. We've got 1 game still to come tonight, as we just discussed, the Blues and the Jets. 4 games tomorrow, and man, what a fun one it was here in town. I wish I was there. Vegas winning in overtime last night against the Minnesota Wild. Earlier tonight, I tried to get cute. I took the first period under in Washington, and of course, Alex Ovechkin, my guy, has to ruin it and gives me a power play goal there. So, unfortunately, unable to get there. Let's get to the first period situation with Vegas and Minnesota. What are we looking at here, first period, over or under for you, JD?
First period over for me. It's 5-0 in this series. And also first period, both teams to score. That's 4-1 in this series. So you can get that first period, both teams to score. I think I got it at plus 180. And that first period over at a really nice price, minus 116 for, again, 5-0 to the first period over. I'm getting a great price. That's the way I would target it early in this game.
Another one of these bets, and people like these bets because you win right away. You win or lose right away. Ideally, you win right away. Colorado, Dallas, early action. What are you looking at? First team to score.
Yeah, so there's a trend that I've been studying through the playoffs here. The team that loses, play them to score the first goal in the next game. It's 19-10 in the playoffs. If you want to target them to score the first goal of the first period, that one is 20-9. And actually, Colorado, coming off both their losses in this series, have scored the first goal in the first period. So you can approach it either way. I'm going to be a little more conservative. I'll play them just to score the first goal of the game at minus 145. But I wouldn't argue if someone wanted to play Colorado to score the first goal of the first period at even money.
Jonathan Davis once again joining us here, courtesy of our progressive guest line. So once again, looking at tomorrow, a lot of these games have been fascinating. Kings and Oilers, it felt like at one point the Kings, I don't want to say had it wrapped up, but man, it felt like there was just something off there with Edmonton. And lo and behold, the Oilers, with the firepower that they've got, they have the series lead. Kings Oilers tomorrow night. How are you looking to attack the late night game?
Yeah, well, first off, Tim, I mean, this could have been a 4-0 sweep for LA, if not for one of the worst coaches' challenges in any sport in Game 3 by LA Kings head coach Jim Hiller. And the LA Kings have just, really crapped their pants the last 3 games. I'm going to target the first period under. Hope I have better luck than you did tonight in this game tomorrow. The under's 4-1 in the first 5 games. I expect the Kings to try to play this game as tight as possible, especially early on. Keep the scoring chances down. I mean, they were absolutely manhandled in the game last night in Los Angeles. Outshot 19-4 in the first period. They actually had less shots directed at the net, 14, than the Edmonton Oilers had shots. But I'm going to target that first period under. I'm also going to look at Edmonton on the puck line tomorrow. I think we have handshakes in this game. I think the series is over tomorrow night. I like the minus 1.5 at plus 154. 14 of the 22 times the favorite has won in the playoffs, they have cashed that puck line.
Last couple minutes. Any cup futures worth jumping in on? Conn Smythe or any other games or props that we haven't gotten to? Take it whatever direction you like.
Yeah, I think you could look at Jack Eichel was a better price early on for the Vegas Golden Knights. I would say that it's kind of hard with this Dallas Colorado, so I'll stay away from that one right now. If you want to gamble with that Minnesota does beat Vegas, you should jump on Kirill Kaprizov or Matt Boldy. Those they're right now tearing it up. I got to wait around. I'm going to be really conservative right now just because there's a lot of uncertainty. And I do think the Conn Smythe Trophy winner is going to come out of the Western Conference at the end of the day, though.
Jonathan Davis, once again, our hockey analyst. You could read all his work over at VSiN.com. All right, JD, before we let you run, you're not only siding totals, you love some player props, so give us a player prop or two that you're going to be angling to attack tomorrow.
All right, Dallas, Colorado. We're going to go with Nathan MacKinnon, over 3.5 shots on goal. He leads the playoffs with 31 shots on goal. He's never had less than 4 in any game. It is juicy at minus 164, but McKinnon is the guy that drives the bus for the Colorado Avalanche. Brady Tkachuk, over 3.5 shots on goal. A couple of different ways you could play it. You could play Brady just to get those 4 shots on goal in regulation at minus 135, or if you want to play the full game, you can get it at minus 155. He's had at least 4 shots on goal in 4 of the 5 games. Also target Jack Eichel, over 2.5 and 3.5 shots on goal. And then the 2 Minnesota superstars that I talked about for Conn Smythe. It's juicy to play them both for a point, but I would parlay them. If you parlay them to get each record a point, you get that at minus 139. I think that's a great price. Vegas has had no answer for Matt Boldy and Kirill Kaprizov.
Follow him on Twitter at West Coast Hockey HKY. Jonathan Davis, our NHL betting analyst. You can read his work over at VSiN.com. JD, always appreciate it, man. Best of luck.
Take care, guys. Good luck with your bets tonight.
All right.
Thanks, great
well,
job.
The scrubs are in, and they're making me nervous for the Golden State Warriors. After 3 quarters of play, 107-80. And now the question, Will Hill, and maybe we can answer on the other side of the break. Do I try to middle it with Golden State plus 25.5? I've got minus 22.5. Or do I let it roll and hope that the scrubs don't let me down? We'll get that answer on the other side. Will Hill might be sitting back with his feet up based off of his bets from Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler. We'll update you on everything you need to know, including more on Lakers T-Wolves next.
This is VSiN PrimeTime on VSiN, the sports betting network.
It is VSiN Primetime, 107-82, early fourth quarter. The scrubs are in for both sides, and now the sweat is certainly on for me as I need the Rockets to continue to score buckets, and I do not feel great as Pat Spencer out there rocking his 61 jerseys, pretending it's Game 7 of the NBA Finals, understandably so, and whew, the sweat is going to be on for me. This is not what I was hoping for. Will Hill, on the other hand, took under Steph Curry, under Jimmy Butler in every which possible way, and they have been out since the middle of the third quarter. So barring the scrubs playing good enough to get the starters back in, it seems like, knock on wood, you're in decent shape. The sweat's still on, though, for me.
Yeah, as Houston was running away with this, maybe, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes ago, I just rattled off 3 or 4 markets that you could still bet that were up at DraftKings and say, hey, if you parlay them, it's 11-1, which you're supposed to get more than 11-1 on a 14 parlay, but it's all very correlated, and they're probably going to pull these guys very soon. They've pulled them, so let's hope they stay on the bench. I would think they would in a 25-point game, barring some massive comeback.
I thought this Rockets team had depth. These scrubs look horrendous. Good God.
This is like a bad open gym. Bad shots, no defense, quick shots. This is the Rockets have definitely gotten sloppy. I would get off of the Rockets.
Yeah.
Especially if you have a middle. You know what? This is not, I mean, you're not, what are we betting on at this point? These are guys you never heard of. This is turned into basically a preseason game.
Pat Spencer is going to be my nemesis here. He is out there just balling right now. And lacrosse superstar Pat Spencer is doing everything he can. I mean, I get it, man. Look, it's like I remember at the end of, I think it was Mount St. Mary's and whoever they played in the first four. You had the backups in there. I was like, it's the NCAA tournament, man. They're going to be balling. They're going to try to get as many buckets as possible. That's what's always so worrisome. You mentioned it earlier in the show, Will, about, blowout games and where it all ultimately plays out because, Pat Spencer and these other dudes, this is game 5 of the NBA playoffs, and they're getting burned here.
Yeah, these guys are fighting to stay in the league. They want to put up 12 points in a game like this, you get noticed by another team, or you get your two-way contract converted, whatever the case is. You're a fringe guy. Even if it's garbage time, you come out here and put up 10, 12 points and get a couple rebounds. Even if, whether it's the Warriors or somebody else, your tape is very valuable. Your tape is your resume in the NBA. So you're going to see these guys, try to get their numbers for sure.
Well, right now, the bet that I made at the half, which was Rockets plus 4.5 second half, which equated to minus 22.5 full game. The live line is now minus 22.5. So
there you go.
The sweat is on in a 107-84 game for me. As for Will, hopefully you are in a decent shape with your particular bet. Will, still to come tonight, we got the T-Wolves and the Los Angeles Lakers. Looking over at VSiN.com and our betting splits right now. This courtesy of DraftKings, one of the many things you get as a VSiN Pro subscriber. Bets are pretty much split right down the middle, 51-49 on the Lakers on the point spread. However, more dollars on the Lakers at 72%. And the total, not a surprise here, plethora of bets on the over, 85% of bets on the over. I mentioned it to start the show. I put together a little Los Angeles money line parlay, Lakers to the Clippers tomorrow night, and both of these teams needing to stave off elimination at home. What are you looking at here, if anything, for the late night game at Crypto.com Arena? Right now, market-wide, Lakers a 6-point favorite.
I think the Lakers roll. It's a similar scenario to Rockets Warriors, where the team is down 3-1. They're home. They're favored. Yes, there's probably a tax built into this number because the Lakers are not 6 points better than the Timberwolves, even with home court. But situations matter. Spots matter. And I don't know that it'll be as lopsided as Rockets Warriors is. But I do think the Lakers figure out a way to win and cover. And I just think that you can't fake desperation. The Lakers will probably get the benefit of the whistle after Minnesota shot more free throws. Minnesota got some calls go their way in crucial spots the other day. It's just the nature of the playoffs. When you're home, when you're trailing in the series, especially when you have superstars, you're probably going to get some calls. So I would look to the Lakers win this game by double digits. I am on LA. What are you looking at? Are you laying the points, or are you just using them with some money line parlays?
I did the money line parlay, from that standpoint, and I always get worried with this Lakers team, and maybe, I do wonder about the angle. Now, I don't know if it's the exact same considering the age for Anthony Edwards, but it is worth noting, right? The T-Wolves, similar spot as the Golden State Warriors, where if they lose tonight, they still get Game 6 at home, but it's a bit of a risky game to play. I'm kind of enamored now with your angle that you just nailed so well, which was the Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler in-game under, if this is a potential blowout. So I think that's worth keeping a close eye on there with Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler. I'll say this, coming back from break, still there on the bench. They got the towels around the neck. They look like me when I sat on the bench in college. I was a big-time towel around the neck guy. They look very comfortable there on that bench with 9.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, and it's just the nature of our minds as bettors. Starting to think, man, what more could we have parlayed? Because all the starters came out, all the backups came in. There was some liability here from these books that hung numbers with this situation pending. Kind of wish I'd capitalized more, but hopefully these bets can get home and we can be good. As the Rockets have not played well. Rockets have gotten sloppy as the Warriors down 23 with the ball. They splash a 3, so now it's down to 20. I would appreciate it if it didn't get much closer than this. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, the scrubs for the Rockets are really and good. I mean, look, I know I call them scrubs tongue in cheek, but come on, man.
Yeah.
Let's pick it up here. Let's get some buckets. Some of us anticipated the Warriors to lay down and die here, and that is not the case. But all kidding aside, this is what you step yourself into when you start betting on a team with a big lead, right? It's garbage time. You never know what to anticipate here. So a 22-point lead, I laid 22.5 or plus 4.5 second half. So we'll be sweating this one out. And in the closing minutes here, the Lakers and T-Wolves, that game to tip off in the 10 o'clock Eastern hour, with the Lakers right now laying 6 on the brink of elimination. Taking a look at some of the player props here for this particular game. Will Luka Doncic over/under tonight, 32.5 points, and LeBron is 26.5. If we look at the 2 stars for the Lakers, how would you potentially look to attack their player props? Are these, once again, you're paying a hefty tax, but is it something you look at points, rebounds, assists for a LeBron? How would you look to potentially attack any one of the Lakers tonight from a player prop standpoint?
LeBron has historically done very well in elimination or potential elimination games, so you got to figure back to the wall. It's going to be a lot of LeBron, a lot of Luka. You do have to have the concern of, if the Lakers are able to get in a position where they're comfortable in this game, like Rockets Warriors, does Redick see, you know what, I played these guys all the second half. I ran them into the ground on Sunday. Granted, we've had 2 days off in between, but if I'm up 20 in the fourth quarter, I'm going to get these guys off the court. So it would be a lean towards the over, but that would be my concern. What's going on?
This is the Warriors backups are like throwing traps in the backcourt, and the Rockets have no idea what to do with it. They're missing layups. This is a disaster.
We need that accelerated clock. We need to get this, fast forward this game over with.
Yeah, this is
Rockets have gotten sloppy. They really have. The Rockets have gotten sloppy here.
Warriors are burying threes from the corner. Put the starters back in, Udoka. Let's go. Let's get too close for comfort.
He's going to.
He's going to. Honestly, he should. You can't mess around here. So let's get the starters back in there. Let's put this puppy to bed, because the Warriors, who, you look at their depth, and I know it's completely mop-up duty, but man, you look at this bench of Trace Jackson Davis is in there now. You're looking at Moses Moody, Pat Spencer. Pat Spencer out there, he's got 8 points, 3 boards, 2 assists, a steal in 10 minutes of action. Man, he's playing his butt off right now. The Washington Capitals trying to put the finishing touches right now on the Montreal Canadiens. 3-1 the score, 4 minutes to go right now in the third period. And after 2 periods in Tampa, it is 4-3. The Panthers with the lead over the Tampa Bay Lightning. If the Panthers win, they move on to the next round as well. Hey, just a reminder, folks, we got the NBA and NHL playoffs heating up. MLB in full swing, the Kentucky Derby right around the corner. We've got our Kentucky Derby guide out right now. So time is running out to get full VSiN Pro access through August 1st for just $59, saving you 33% off the monthly price. Once again, our Kentucky Derby betting guide is out with previews and best bets on the Derby and Kentucky Oats. Sign up now, vsin.com/subscribe, vsin.com/subscribe.
This is VSiN PrimeTime on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is some wild stuff, man. The Golden State Warriors scrubs are balling right now. And I just put out a tweet at Tim Murray. Pat Spencer, when called on by Steve Kerr, and just put up a gif of Michael Jordan, because this is his time to shine. He is absolutely balling. 111-97. The lead is down to 14. The starters are back in for the Rockets. And I'll tell you this, Will, the starters don't look really good right now. It's 111-97. Right now, you take a look at the in-game price, and currently we sit at 13.5 in favor of the Rockets. Man, this is something, as they're I'm trying to figure out, once again, we watch these games without the sound. Steph Curry took off some sort of brace.
Oh, boy.
The brace is back in his hand. Come on, man. We can't be.
You might have to do the rest of the show solo. I might have to just go lay down for a little while. This would be an all-timer.
I mean, good Lord. Doug Kazarian, friend of the show, friend of the network, tweeted out that Udoka took the bait and put his scrubs in too early. 100%.
Yeah,
this is a mistake. I mean, this was a massive mistake by Ime Udoka, who's a good coach, but he thought he could just mail it in there to start the fourth quarter, and now here we are under 6 minutes to go, and his starters are back in the game, and it's only a 15-point contest as he's got, Şengün and all of these guys. He took them out. I mean, here's the thing, right? They took out the starters, and now those starters were probably chilling. Their heads weren't in the game, and now they're thrust back in, and they're not really ready to go.
They're tight. They seem tight. They're playing tight, and they're just hanging on for dear life. Now, we're talking about a 15-point game with 6 minutes to go. I mean, They're still an overwhelming favorite to win the game and win it by double digits. But from our standpoint, we just need the starters to stay on the bench for Golden State, which was our bet, which was the whole idea behind this. And the fact that this has gone from, 33, 35, and we've gotten to 15 with in garbage time here is really remarkable as Golden State again scores, and we're down to a 13-point game.
Moses Moody's got 15 points right now. I mean, this is I'll give Golden State credit, man. I mean, these dudes off the bench, we saw it. What game was it? Was it game 2 that they were out here, and you saw it from this Warriors squad that they're not great, but man, they'll throw it at you a little bit. So, man, this is discouraging to say the least here. For my bet, I feel like my bet's pretty much toast at this point.
Yeah.
And, it's funny because I was trying to figure out, I could sense it happening, but there was no really good spot to try to middle it. And instead, I should have just flat out got off the bet, right? And here's the thing, Brittany Urton might have been right? I made the mistake. And she said in horse racing, you just stick with that. It's karma. And I ended up betting the other side. And here we go. The Warriors are out here dunking on the starters. It is 114 to 101.
And we finally get a miss, and then another miss, and a third offensive rebound, and the Warriors again dunked to cut it to 13. So it felt like the Warriors hadn't missed in forever, and they finally miss. Rockets can't get a rebound, get another miss, and then a third offensive rebound for a dunk. So this is just a struggle to the finish line here for Houston.
Yeah, Dylan Brooks going to brick a three-pointer. I mean, I'll say this. I don't know at what point does Steve Kerr think about maybe putting the starters back in.
These guys are playing so well. Maybe
I know.
You just, what?
Oh, no.
It's
Michael Jordan 13. Spencer over there. Oh, he missed the three.
Unbelievable.
I mean, they can't get rebounds. The backups are just balling right now.
This is amazing.
Oh, man. No, you poke the bear, Dylan Brooks. I mean, that's a smart move, too, by Pat Spencer. Now we got chippiness going on with the backups. I love it, man. This is what you're supposed to do. This is what the Warriors are supposed to do right now. Why wouldn't you push Dylan Brooks in the back? Alfred Şengün is out there barking away. Like, this is the perfect decision by the Warriors right now. You've got your backups in. They're being chippy. Now the starters are all mad for the Houston Rockets. Man, this is playing out perfectly for the Warriors. Perfectly would have been winning the game, right, and ending the series. But once they knew this game was over, now you had the starters come back in because Udoka made the mistake. Now we've got chippiness out there. I mean, this is a stroke of brilliance here from the Warriors bench.
If you're the Warriors, though, you can't afford to lose Pat Spencer going forward. So you hope he's not fined or anything or suspended in this altercation. You can't afford to lose that guy.
All right, quick update from the ice. The series is over between the Canadiens and the Capitals. The Capitals win tonight 4-1. You get an empty netter there in the closing seconds. Does not affect the pre-flop total. So the game, of course, does go over in the first period, but will stays under for the full game. 4-1 the final score. Capitals get the win. and they move on to the next round. The other contest going on with 14 and change to go in the third period, the Florida Panthers have a 4-3 lead right now. So that is where we stand. And then the game we are monitoring with 4:14 to go in the fourth quarter, the Houston Rockets up 114-101. Folks, this game seemed all but over, and now the Rockets are out here battling their behinds off and trying to get this victory with the starters on the bench. Looking at the box score right now, Will, we've seen 14 minutes from Pat Spencer. He's got 11 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, a steal. He's plus 16. Kevin Knox, 11 points, 3 boards. The bench is plus 16 here in this spot for the Warriors.
Remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. It looks like they're sorting out Spencer.
Trace Jackson Davis. Yeah, Trace Jackson Davis just 2-arm shoved Alfred Şengün too. So there should be some technicals here on the Golden State Warriors, which could maybe give me hope. But as the gentleman who usually sits to my left here and was on with you last night, Matt Humans, likes to say, there's nothing worse than hope. So
there is nothing.
I'm not feeling ultra confident here in this one. But I mean, hey man, if you're a backup out there, get a couple tees. Why not? Throw a couple tees out there.
And at what point do you think Kerr considers it? Because at 13 with 4 minutes to go, we've seen crazier things happen. Here's the thing, like the Warriors backups have played so well, and you're at the point, I want to get them some rest. You're still a massive, massive long shot to actually win the game. So my guess is he just leaves these guys on the bench and rolls with the backups.
Look, I know your bet, and I'm once again, we're an anti-mush crowd here.
Would be an all-timer if I lost them.
I just, at what do we, was it get down to 7 with like 2 minutes to go? Especially if we've got technicals coming here. Right. Spencer 2-arm shoved Dylan Brooks, and then Trace Jackson Davis did the same to Alfred Şengün. So I feel like some technicals are coming against Golden State here. So
taking a long time to sort out. Jeez, I mean, what are we looking at? A few shoves or whatever. Let's move on. We don't need a 10-minute investigation here.
So trying to sort things out here as, once again, 114-101 is the score, and the Rockets have that 13-point lead. But as I mentioned, Ime Udoka going to the bench maybe a little bit too early. They are sorting it out. We don't have the sound on, so we will figure it out what ultimately they decide to do here with this situation. And if we get some technicals against the Golden State Warriors, I don't know. They're dapping up Pat Spencer. I think, my nemesis has just got ejected. All right, Pat Spencer, get the hell out of here. He just got ejected from the game. So they have punted Loyola lacrosse superstar Pat Spencer from the game with 4 minutes to go. I mean, talk about a day. Pat Spencer comes in, him and his mustache and all, he goes plus 16, 11 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, and ejected.
Who are they putting in, though? I hope it's not one of the stars they're putting back in. Is he related to Cam Spencer, the UConn kid?
Yeah. Pat Spencer's the
looks so much like him.
So Cam Spencer's the UConn kid.
Yeah,
and he's on Memphis, and Pat Spencer.
Are they related though?
Pat Spencer, it's his older brother.
They look a lot alike.
Yeah, Pat Spencer, his older brother. So it looks like I think you called it out. We had a little bit of a headbutt situation there. Yeah. I mean, think about the restraint. We could have got an all-time headbutt last night from Giannis. He did not do it, and instead we get it from Pat Spencer. I don't know. The look of Steph Curry right now, just chilling on the bench, I think you're in decent shape with your particular bet.
I thought I've been in decent shape for an hour, but I'm sitting here sweating bullets.
Steph's just sitting over there. You know what Steph should get in his hands? The VSiN Kentucky Derby betting guide. He needs some reading material there on the sidelines. So check it out. We've got the VSiN betting guide. So whether you're a novice looking for your first bet or looking how to have extensive betting action on the Derby, check it out, vsin.com/subscribe. It is VSiN Primetime.